One step closer to a cashless society, machine-to-machine payments and stable coins. Following the onset of ubiquitous, decentralized digital assets, it's safe to say that the distributed economy is truly coming into its own. The question is, how are Western and Eastern fronts intermingling in this budding new space? Moderated by Megan Lee, BITDESK. Paul Bao, BITCHERRY Limited. Jay Liang, Hong Kong Blockchain Association. Richard ELLS, Electroneum. Bob Kin, BITCHERRY.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Megan. I'm from BITDESK, the moderator of this panel. So it's glad to have the gentleman here. So can you introduce yourself first?
Hi, everybody. Paul is here from BITCHERRY.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Jay Liang. I'm the founding chairman for Hong Kong Blockchain Association. I am also a VC investor focused in digital economy.
Hi, Richard ELLS from Electroneum. We are a financial inclusion cryptocurrency based out of the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Bob. So I'm the founder of the North American Blockchain Foundation and the open liberal technical leader, community leader, and also the tech advisor for the BITCHERRY.
Okay, thanks. Okay, today our topic is about the cashless society. So it's related to machine-to-machine payment and also stablecoin that leading to the distributed economy. So my first question, I want to have you share your general ideas about distributed economy. So we start from Paul.
Okay, about distributed economy is actually based on the blockchain technology. And without blockchain technology, I think the distributed economy is not working. And distributed economy is a fully used feature of the blockchain, like transparency, efficiency, and can build trust among each other. Yeah, these are the advantage of the using blockchain. Meanwhile, the most important factor is decentralized. Okay. We compare with the traditional economy, it's mainly centralized. It's centralized. We control by the governments. We control by some organizations, and even certain the central banks. Yeah. So. This is no. I mean, for the distributed economies, yeah, it's definitely will be next generations of the economy. Yeah.
I see. So how about you, Jay?
Well, originally, distributed economy was defined by Alan Johansen as the most sustainable economy model. Of course, every industry has their own ecosystem, and not all those industries are possibly suitable for a distributed economy. However, with new technologies, especially blockchain technology here we have, I believe that in the future, when we come to distributed economy with the blockchain technology as an infrastructure, and also the financial system would also come up with the machine-to-machine payment system. Yeah. Lately, I think everybody was astonished by Chinese policy change toward the blockchain technology. But I think the key point, the key focus will be something behind. That's called a DCEP, Digital Currency Electronic Payment System, which is going to be the digital currency of the Central Bank of China. They're not going to call it as a CBDC, but they call it a DCEP. which means in the future, everybody just needs to have a phone. You don't need to have a wallet, you don't need any bank anymore, and central bank would give you the token or the currency into your phone, and then you can do all the local payments, you can do engage in all the local activities without any financial intermediaries. And that would be really enable the distributed, distributed economy for sure. And I foresee a much better distributed economy ecosystem with this machine-to-machine payment. Started with DCEP by China, and then hopefully Libra will come along in the future. All of the Libra, all the Facebook users, 2.6 people, would have their own wallet or their banking account, virtual banking account, and they don't have to go through bank anymore, and they can do, they can engage in the distributed economy much easily.
I think something that's really critical about the distributed nature of these peer-to-peer payment systems is the cost of transaction. And there is no central person or company that's trying to make money from that transaction. So the banks charge huge amounts of money to transfer small amounts of money, which makes it impossible to transfer small amounts of money around the world. And of course, the distributed system of cryptocurrencies enables that peer-to-peer transfer at virtually no cost, which suddenly opens up borders that were closed before. So somebody who earns $3 in Indonesia from somebody in America, that remittance can take place. It can take place almost instantly at almost no cost. So that financial inclusion that people have been talking about for absolutely years can now actually start to take place.
Yeah. So, last one.
Yeah. So my view about this, the distributed economy, is the new revolution. So we all know that. So the blockchain brings us into a new age. It's called trust machine age. So my view is that the traditional way is still the traditional. Whatever they are running still continue to run. And then this kind of distributed economy actually create a new dimension for the whole world. And then the future about the new distributed economy is that how much, it doesn't matter, whatever the asset. So based on the new world, we are going to build a value network. So whatever, it doesn't matter how many assets in the traditional world, and it will continue to convert to the digital world. So for me, it's unlimited. It's much better, it's much bigger than the revolution about the machine and the internet era. So for me, is that, and then now what happening is that wherever we are using a digital asset as a concept to convert. So there are so many public chains. So they're going to convert whatever the asset in the real world into the crypto, or we call it digital economies. So in the digital economy, it doesn't mean it has to be a crypto, or it has to be a peer-to-peer. It can be certain ways of the centralized. That's why I come up with the couple of I think is the game-changing application. The first one, I think, now is a very modern one, is the Libra. So the second one is like something like, it's kind of the scaling up. So Libra is kind of in the other hand, one stream direction about the fully compliance and regulated. I want to be regulated. You see what I can do. And the other way is that maybe I can call it the next generation of the Bitcoin, just like the green, right? the green coin. And it's totally anonymous, and there's no government involved. It's all running in its own way. So, and something in the middle, I think, can be the Bitcoin, Ethereum, these kind of things. The reason why is that the Libra is that central bank running, something like that. In terms of the special case of the Chinese version of the DCEP, actually we know some of from the internal resource. DCEP is just a replacement of the current cash in certain countries. It's the M0. So it's just kind of the M0 payment. But it's not fully decentralized. It's kind of centralized. It's not peer-to-peer. And the government of the Chinese government even mentioned that it's not even blockchain. It's kind of replacement of the M0, but it's still kind of the digital economy. It continues to convert the real world asset into the digital world. That's why I mentioned that the digital economy is the whole future. So we are the human, so the human civilization is enter into a new dimension. It's the whole world bigger than the current, we call it whatever, 3 or 4 dimension world. That's what my point of view. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So you just all mentioned about stablecoin and the Chinese new policy. So do you think regulation gonna be a challenge for going to the distributed economy? So maybe Mr. Jada.
Of course, I believe that regulation is always the hurdle for innovations. Everybody knows that blockchain was banned by China just 2 weeks ago. Ever after the instruction from President Xi Jinping, now China is all swarmed into the blockchain industry. I think that's one of the big change of the regulations or policies there. But in the future, I would say there are more regulations there can be automated by technology itself. However, regulators, they still want to have their job. So they don't want to give up their job position. They don't want to leave this to machine to control everything. We believe that technology or innovation themselves can actually offer much better regulations than human being without any errors there. We believe in algorithm, we believe in math, and somehow this the blockchain technology or applications developed with blockchain technology possibly can be much better used in the regulatory space as well. Just simply that the policymakers have to let it go that the machine will take over the world in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
From a regulatory standpoint, I think one of the things that's really interesting is that a lot of countries have a fear of cryptocurrency because of their perceived worry about capital outflow from their country, especially in the developing world where Electroneum is working. The governments that we've been engaging with, that's their biggest fear of Bitcoin. So when you have a new system that enables inflow, and this is what Electroneum's whole goal is, but any cryptocurrency could do it in theory, is if you've got platforms that bring inflow to a country and genuinely provide financial inclusion, then governments are going to be keen to regulate and keen to adopt, because anything that brings more money, more revenue, more GDP to a country is surely going to be embraced faster.
Yeah, Malta here is an example of the government to support, and maybe Paul, can you share a little bit about Singapore's situation?
Yeah, actually, Singapore government is quite supportive of the cryptocurrency and blockchain, and they come out a lot of regulations normally for ICO in Singapore, we so-called is illegal, and the STO in Singapore, Singapore have the so-called sandbox. If they want to do the STO in Singapore, you had to apply the sandbox. It's under Money Authority of Association, in Singapore. So Singapore is they come out a lot of regulations and based on traditional finance system and the finance law. So they combine it and they come on the new regulations to regulate all the ICO, STO, and I think they one of the best place to issue the coins. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. How about you, Paul?
So in terms of the regulatory point of view is that, so we all, at the very beginning, we need to look at the superpower, what they are doing, right? In the US, the SEC never say that certain, for example, Bitcoin, Ethereum is illegal. So there are, I have been had some discussion with some of the regulators, right? Let's say there are only 2 points of view. One is the investor protection. As long as whatever the project you're doing, as long as you are able to well protect the investors, that will be a good one. The second one, because of the superpowers, they are competing with each other. They want to see the innovation. So this is the two sides, right? One is the investor protection. The second one, you need to be innovation enough. And then, but in terms of the regulation from different countries, is that they want to compete with each other. So for example, the Chinese government, the 2017, right, they had come up with the totally bans about the ICO and the crypto, the markets. But they now realized after the 2 years, especially for the Libra, the stable coin coming to the US, they're seeing that this is the future. That's why they come up with promoting the blockchain. And then they're saying that, okay, we never say that you are not allowed to have the coin. As long as you are doing some compliance and then you follow the regulation, it will be good. And this is kind of two superpowers that compete each other. So everybody use the other side as an imagination enemies, and then that's the one. In terms of the other countries, like my home country, Canada, right? As long as you have the license, then you can apply the money service business license. You can do whatever you want and in terms of the handling cash, right? And handling the money business. And for crypto and the two crypto, there's no regulator. You can do it as a concept of there's a revenue agency, and then as long as you have three things: anti-money laundering, KYC, and anti-terrorist fundraising. And then it is all good. And some countries like the UK and Singapore, they come up with a sandbox, and even in Hong Kong as well. But I don't believe this sandbox actually is doing something. Many of the projects, as long as they went into the sandbox, they are more dying. There's no market. So that's in terms of the regulation I'm seeing. That based on my personal experience now is that now the whole blockchain and the crypto world now is moving from the classical one into the modern model. The classical is the Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever, the ICO. They are coming into I call it a classical way. But the Libra one is the stablecoin one, just like the JP Morgan and the JPMC, right? They have their own stablecoin. That's the modern way, is that I do business with you, right? You give me, I issue $1, and then always trading with $1 without profit. But anybody, you want to escape from the risk. And if you want more profit, you come to me, doing business with me. I don't make any money with you, but everybody has to be my customers. I make it for free. That's the killer. And then because they have the right to mine the coin. That's the thing. And eventually, countries, just like what I'm doing, as Open Libra, right? I'm helping people doing the China version of the Libra, Hong Kong version of the Libra, Southeast Asia of the Libra, and even Canadian version of the Libra. That's actually helping, because the mining right is from the government, now is delivered to the enterprise and even the personal because of the open source. Yeah, that's the future.
Yeah, very, very interesting idea. So because we see all the governments, regulators, enterprise, and even entrepreneurs working on the distributed economy. So my last question is that, can you share your expectations for this, and or do you see any interesting or we call killing apps in this area? Okay, we start from Paul.
Okay, I believe, yeah, the BITCHERRY is one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, BITCHERRY actually is the e-commerce platform network, and we build it based on blockchain technology. Mm-hmm. And so far, we launched on 5th of May, and so far we have about 2 million users in our platform. And meanwhile, yeah, we have the 120K the active users almost every day. Yeah, actually our whole network is we use whole feature of the blockchain, and we including the merchants, including the buyers, sellers, everything using our coins in our ecosystem. Yeah, our main concept is a decentralized network.
Okay.
So means everybody in this network is owner, and we give out the rights, give out profit, and even give out the decisions to community. Let community to decide our future. Yeah.
That's very interesting project. How about you guys to do a sharing?
Well, I'd like to say that an interesting app is ours. So Electroneum is all about financial inclusion. Half the people in the world or more actually have not heard of Electroneum. We've not got out amongst the crypto community perhaps enough, as much as we need to. But if you take a look at Electroneum, we've delivered an amazing ecosystem and infrastructure of payments. But what we've realized is that trying for mass adoption and trying for cashless society, people don't just adopt it. You have to lead them by the hand. So first we just built it and expected them to come. And whilst we've got 3 million plus registered users, actually to get real mass adoption and real use, we've found you've had to build all of the other parts of the platform. So earnings is the next thing we're launching. Any tasks launches into beta the next 2 weeks. So that gives people the ability to earn cryptocurrency from anywhere in the world by performing digital tasks. So I think that's not just with Electroneum, but that is an area that really needs to be pursued. If people adopt cryptocurrency, so freelancer adopted cryptocurrency to enable people to be paid in it. They all dabbled in it in 2016. I think Fiverr tried crypto. If they try it again now, it'll work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing, and time is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.